How's it going, boys? Welcome back to another New World video. In this one, we're going to be talking about character progression. So that's everything from your core attributes to your trade skills, your weapon mastery, and just leveling in general, all the way through to end game progression. The leveling up in New World is pretty similar to any other MMO. You go around in the world, you do things, and you gain experience for that. Once you gain a level in New World, you gain what is called an attribute point. Then you can put that attribute point into 5 different stats. So strength, dex, int, focus, and constitution. When you reach max level, the progression shifts from leveling your character to leveling your expertise, or more commonly known as your gear score. So the points you earn while leveling your character can be placed into one of the 5 attributes. Strength, which increases the amount of damage you do with melee weapons. Some melee weapons scale exclusively from strength, and other light weapons scale primarily from strength, and some from dexterity. Dexterity is also the attribute that scales your damage with ranged weapons such as the bow and musket. Intelligence is the attribute you'll want to spec into if you're looking to gain damage from your magical weapons such as the fire staff, the ice gauntlet, and the void gauntlet. And if you're planning on maining a healer, focus will be the attribute you'll be specking into. The last attribute is constitution, and it's pretty straightforward. Putting points into constitution increases your overall health pool, making you much tankier. Each attribute also has an attribute threshold bonus. The attribute threshold bonus gives a persistent bonus to players for maintaining certain point values in each attribute. Bonuses are awarded every 50 points invested in a single attribute. For example, at 50, 100, and 150 points invested. Each threshold has a combat bonus and a non-combat bonus. When you reach endgame, your focus is going to shift from leveling up your character to leveling up your expertise. That's a whole nother video, and I'll put a link in the description to this below. You'll also be leveling up your trade skills, which we will come on to shortly. So firstly, your weapon mastery. So in New World, you can equip any weapon at any time, and your character is not locked into a particular weapon based on the class you pick because, well, there's no classes in New World. You can master every weapon in the game, should you wish. Once you have a weapon equipped, you then just need to use that weapon in combat. Kill a creature, kill a player, in order to gain experience for that particular weapon. Once you have gained enough weapon mastery experience, you will then be rewarded with a skill point that can be spent on ability within the skill trees of that particular weapon. Every weapon in the game has 2 separate skill trees, and each one of these skill trees has a selection of active abilities, passive modifiers, and bonuses that are exclusive to that particular weapon. It is important to point out here that each weapon maxes out at level 20, and each weapon has a total of 19 abilities on each tree, totaling 38 abilities. This means that you cannot learn every skill that the weapon has to offer, and will have to choose the abilities that you would like in your particular build. You are not limited to going down one or the other tree, so you could decide, if you wish, to put half in one tree and half in the other. Each tree within a weapon mastery has 3 active abilities. You can equip 2 weapons and switch between those weapons in combat, which gives you 6 active abilities to cycle through during combat, with each having a separate cooldown. If you spec into something that you don't like or in the future would like to change, you can respec the entire mastery tree by paying a respec fee using Azoth. Okay, moving on to trade skills. Trade skills are made up of 3 non-combat categories, which include gathering, refining, and crafting. And there are several skills within each category, with the max being 200, and with the new aptitude system, you can keep crafting beyond 200 to gain extra bonuses. Gathering is broken down into 5 different skill lines, which include fishing, mining, skinning, logging, and harvesting. To progress or level up in a gathering skill, you simply have to use that particular skill. The more you use it, the better you become at performing that task. If you want to know more about gathering, you can visit our gathering guide. I'll put the link in the description below. Refining. There are 5 different skill lines within the refining category, which are smelting, stone cutting, woodworking, tanning, and weaving. Smelters refine ore into ingots. Stone cutting is used to refine stone into blocks and cut gemstones into gems in order to socket them into gear. Woodworkers cut wood into lumber. Tanners refine hide into leather. And weavers turn fiber into usable cloth. In order to level up each skill line, you simply have to refine more materials. As you level up in a particular skill, you will unlock the ability to refine higher quality resources, which are in turn used to craft higher quality gear. You also become much more resource efficient, as high level refiners have a chance to gain extra refined resources while they refine. Crafting. There are 7 different crafting skills in New World, including weaponsmithing, armoring, jewel crafting, engineering, arcana, cooking, and furnishing. Just like with gathering and refining, the more you craft within a particular skill line, the higher you will progress within that particular craft. So if you want to make the best weapons in the game, you would just acquire the needed materials, make your way to an applicable workstation in a settlement, and craft as many weapons as you can in order to level up your weaponsmithing skill. Leveling a crafting skill will unlock more recipes and allow you to craft higher tier items. The tier of items range from tier 1 being the lowest and tier 5 being the highest. It's also important to note that in order to craft a specific tier item, the crafting station using must be at or above that tier. So in a nutshell, the more you perform a specific task within that specific craft, or the higher you're going to rank and the more you're going to be able to craft. It's also important to note that your character is not capped as to how many skills you can master. So if enough time is invested, you could max out every single trade skill within the game. And that's it. That is our character progression guide. I will leave a link in the description below to our written guide, which you can find on newworldfans.com. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and we will see you on the next video.